Hey y'all, today I'm going to be making pumpkin butter. As you can see, the pumpkins, when you harvest them, are dirty. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to wash all your pumpkins. After you've washed them all, you're going to want to cut off the top and the bottom. I cut off the top and the bottom and scoop out all the seeds into a bowl, which I'll be feeding to my chickens. And then we're going to bake it in the oven on 350 for an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these. You cut it in half. Scoop out the seeds in the inside. You can cook the seeds, or like I said, you can do what I do and give them to my chickens. To pull out all of the strings. It really works best if you have an ice cream scoop, but I have a 3-year-old granddaughter that likes to take things and hide them from me. So I don't know where mine is. And now the inside's clean. I like to rinse them off. And then you put them upside down on your pan. I'm going to go ahead and do this other one and I'll be back. Now I can only fit 2 on this pan, so I'm going to be doing 2 at a time. I need about 6 cups of pumpkin. So if you can't grow pumpkins or don't have time, you can always use canned pumpkin. In this case I'm using real pumpkins. And so I'm going to put these in the oven on 350 and I'm going to bake them for an hour. 1 hour. 350. And while I wait on those to bake, I'm going to give all of these seeds to my chickens. It'll be a nice treat for them. Now once those two are done baking, I'm going to do these two just like I did the other two so that I know I have enough pumpkin. And at the end of an hour, you'll have something that looks like this. I'll let these cool, and then we're going to scoop out the insides into a bowl. The top just peels right off. From the one pumpkin, I now have 4 cups of pumpkin. So I should have about 8 from the 2 that I'm doing. And I'm going to do a double batch, by the way. But you need 6 cups for the recipe. So here's 4 cups. I'm going to go ahead and sterilize my jars and lids at this point. It's very important that you have clean jars and clean lids. Now you're going to measure 6 cups of pumpkin into your pan. And now 4 cups of white sugar. And then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, a teaspoon of cloves, and a teaspoon of ground ginger. Now we're going to simmer this on the stove for about 30 minutes. I'm going to mix it all together, of course, and set my timer for 30 minutes, checking on it to make sure it's not burning or anything. So I'm going to set my timer, and I'll be back in 30 minutes. Because somebody's probably going to ask, yes, you can do this in a crock pot. Just takes a little bit longer. Now, if you feel it's too thick, you can add a little bit of water, and I do sometimes add some lemon juice. Now, at the end of an hour, at the end of 30 minutes, it's time to ladle this into your jars. You're going to want to leave a 1/4 inch of headspace at the top. And run a knife around it to get rid of stuff like this. Any of the air bubbles. Now this is the part where I add a disclaimer saying it's not recommended that you can pumpkin, but you can always put it in the freezer or you can keep it in the fridge. I and many other people do can it. We can it in a hot water bath for at least an hour. So that's up to you. You decide, you make that decision. I'm not going to make that decision for you. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this rim off and get a lid on. Just finger tight. Do all of your jars like this. Now I'm going to do the hot water bath for 1 hour once it starts boiling. If you're going to just freeze it or put it in the fridge, you can skip this step. And there you have a very simple pumpkin butter recipe. Let me know if you try my recipe. Y'all have a good night.